Hello. So I thought I'd have a try at making a video about this question: can men and women be friends? Um, because I think they can, but I'm aware there's a lot of YouTube videos out there, and every single one is like, nope, 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 they can't be friends, can't be friends. Um, I think they can, and I think there's a part of me that feels like it's actually quite easy and obvious and quite simple. But then there's another part of me that realizes it's I can see the complications, and you've got to be kind of careful. So just wanted to explain my views, and also I'm coming at this from a weird angle. So just ignore me if you think I'm an idiot. But I am a 41-year-old virgin, and I'm celibate, and I plan to be celibate for life, which I know is very weird, and I've made a video about it. If you want to know my reasons why, um, but so I'm kind of looking at this from outside outside of the forest of romance. It's like everybody else is in the woods, and I'm kind of outside the woods looking in. And so sometimes it seems really obvious to me, like, of course, men and women can be friends. What's the problem? Just two human beings being friends, just brothers and sisters. We're all. What's the problem? Um, and I think the trick is the reason why I think it's quite easy is all you have to do is just take the romantic lenses off, which I know is easier said than done. But you just take the romantic lenses off, um, because when you think of humanity, like there's all sorts of people that seem to manage male female friendships fine. Like kids seem to manage it, they don't care, and elderly seem to manage it, and siblings seem to manage it, and asexuals seem to manage it, and maybe if you've got a gay friend it's okay. It's just the romantic lens is when people start those middle years when you get the romantic urges. It seems to confuse everything. So you just got to take the romantic lenses off, right? Now that might sound easier said than done, but I think it actually is quite easy because all you need is conviction. Um, all you need is conviction, which is just again easier said than done, but it's just 100% conviction, and that power is inside your head. Like there is no external impediment stopping you from making a decision and just closing a door in your mind and just saying, well, that person's out of bounds. And a way of seeing this, I think, is if you've ever got like a sister-in-law or a brother-in-law or something. So I've got a sister-in-law, and I can objectively tell that she's good looking, but I don't feel any feelings for her, and I just see her as a sister. And when I reflect on that, and I think, well, why is that? I think it's because she's just totally off limits in my brain. Like the door is so firmly closed in my brain, I don't even want to think about it. It's just off limits, and so every time I interact with her, I feel nothing. She's just another sister. Um, and I think that's how it works. And Freud had a theory about this, I believe, and I could be wrong. I'm sure I read it somewhere that Freud believed that everybody wants to have sex with everybody secretly. Could be wrong, but if so, Freud thinks that everybody secretly wants to have sex with everybody else, but we have all these suppressions where we suppress it. So, like, he thinks everybody's gay, and men are secretly all gay with other blokes, but we're so suppressed. We've got this taboo in our mind of like, no, we can't go there, and so that's why we don't feel anything, because we've got this door in our head that's just firmly closed. Excuse me. And so that's closed, and so we don't feel anything. It's only the doors when the door is open. It's only when you open the door that the feelings come in, and then it's like that's when the problems come. And I've practiced this. There's a girl in my life. I've had a few female friends in my life, and there's one in particular who I have feelings for, and I know I've still got them. Kind of, they're there, but I want to be celibate. I've chosen celibacy as my choice in life. I don't believe in the romantic. I think it's a trick of nature. Watch the video, whatever, if you want an explanation. But I've decided to be friends with her, and the way it's the solution for me has been to just 100% conviction shut the door. Basically, there were times in my life when we were friends, and there was like sometimes I would open the door. I would just think, could there be something there? That what if, that possibility, maybe something could happen with us. And that's when the feelings started getting heavy. That's when all the feelings came in and got heavy. Once I'd made my conviction, once I'd decided, no, I'm all in. I just want to be celibate. I shut that door. It was gone. She was just a friend, and ever since then, I just see her as a friend now. And it's like very easy now. It's like she's just a sister. She's just a friend. The feelings are pretty much gone. Like it's I might have a little peek every now and then. It's like no, okay, don't want it. So it's just that's the thing. It's like conviction, shut the door, and it solves it. And it's just like putting people in that category of like off limits in your brain, like a sister-in-law or something like that. It's just so that's it. It's easy, and you just do it, and you just need conviction. Don't keep looking through the door. Don't all this what if stuff. Conviction, and you don't even have to be like permanently celibate or something. I think it's just self-control, just knowing for this spell that this person's off limits for this period or this meeting or whatever. Just a person's off limits, shut the door. So I think that's why I think friends, men and women can be friends, but of course it's tricky. I feel like I should give a load of disclaimers though. So again, this is just me speaking for myself. I don't know what it's like for women. I'm a bloke, so it might be different for women. And also, obviously, I've spent my whole life celibate, so I don't know what relationships are really like, and it's going to be a whole other dynamic, and it's the trusts and jealousy and things like that. I'm sure within the woods it feels a whole lot different. I sometimes feel like people. So I love Sadhguru. He's really great, and I sometimes get this sense that some people are so spent their whole lives in the woods, they can't even fathom what it must be like outside of the woods, and so they're so lost in it. And so I sometimes feel like maybe that's could be happening a bit. I don't know. Also, I'm a bit of a loner, so I have had a lot of female friends in my life, but I've always had quite distant friends. Whereas if you're very close with women, you've got a lot of female friends that you're texting and meeting every day and stuff. Maybe it's a different story then as well. But these are just my views. I still feel like the pattern's the same. It's the same principle, and I want to be kind of cautious as well. Yeah, so. If people in relationships, you do need to be cautious. So you got to figure it out yourself and judge it yourself. But one of the reasons I wanted to make this video as well, though, is because I want to be also cautious in the other direction, because I feel like there's an awful lot of, I don't like false guilt, and I think there's a hidden victim here, which is like there's a lot of friends that are just genuinely decent friends, male-female friendships. There's nothing going on there, but people might lose friendships because of this false guilt, because and there's something about that I don't like. Like, I'd rather try and encourage the world to be more self-controlled and more trusting than to get really defensive and paranoid and be like, no, you can't be friends with this person, you can't be friends with that person. I'd rather kind of, I don't know, that's what I feel a bit. And if you think, because I think there's like a lot of good that can come from male-female friendships, especially today. There's like a kind of loneliness epidemic and a friendship recession, I've heard, and like there's not many, and even men and women aren't even kind of, it doesn't sound like they're even dating very much at the moment, because there's not much sex going on or anything. So if men and women can't even be friends, it's like, it doesn't feel like a good state of affairs. When I think of like an ideal world, I don't think of an ideal world being one where men and women are just separated. They don't work together. The only times they come together is for this marriage union and having babies, and then everything else they just don't talk. I don't see that as the ideal world. I see an ideal world where human beings are all they've all risen above their impulses and are all self-controlled, and so they're all just treating each other like brothers and sisters. That would be my ideal of like heaven. Everybody just getting along with each other. And so I think it's a shame that men and women can't be friends, because I think men and women have got a lot to learn from each other. We can teach each other and help each other a lot, and especially in a relationship, if you've got a man-woman relationship, and the woman's you got a problem in the relationship, and the man, he's only got male friends to talk to. I almost feel like, wouldn't it be beneficial for the woman, for the man to have a female friend? That female friend's probably going to be able to help him in his relationship way more than his male friends. Otherwise, he's just blind leading the blind a little bit. It's nice to get a female perspective, and same for the woman with a male friend. Again, if everyone's controlled and sensible and trusts each other, you can get a lot of good out of that could help. And another reason why I think male-female friendships are good is because, particularly for men, I think, and for me, myself, men aren't very good at talking to other men about certain emotional things. I'm definitely like this. Like, when I grew up, I barely talked to my dad. Like my dad barely talked to me. It was all my mum. Any problems I had, any emotional stuff, always talking to my mum. Never talked to my dad. I've tried talking to blokes. I have male friends, but when you go to there's a certain depth that it just starts to get a bit weird. And I don't know. I've tried to push through it a few times. It gets weird. I don't know. I find it way more comfortable talking to women. I've had a few female friends in my life, and I just love talking to them. I need it. And if men and women can't be friends, I'm not going to have anyone to talk to, really. Like I don't like. I kind of need female friends. And there's something about male and female nature that we can help each other, and it's not necessarily. I don't know. I feel like it's too much guilt sometimes. It's my feeling. Like, why is every connection outside of marriage bad? Like, I don't know. It's like I feel like I can connect with a female friend and it's fine. I don't know. What did I want to say about that? Because what was I going to say about that? Just watched a YouTube video, and a lot of the YouTube videos, they put a lot of guilt onto. Oh man, let me just pause it. I'm forgetting my thoughts. Sorry. Yeah. So some YouTube videos, they say, don't talk to your opposite sex friend about, emotions. You can't connect. You can't do anything with an opposite sex friend. But then they say it's okay with a same sex friend, right? It's okay with same sex friends. You can connect. There's all kinds of rules that are fine with same sex friends, but off limits with opposite sex friends. But then I tend to think, well, what's the difference? Because if there's no romantic feelings involved, or if everybody's just self-controlled and they've got all they're in control and stuff, then there's no real difference. Because so you have same-sex friends here, then you got, like, what about if a woman had a gay friend, a gay male friend? Is that okay? And most people think, yeah, that's fine. What about if the male friend was asexual, like truly asexual? Well, I guess that's fine as well, right? Well, what about if the male friend was like me, like celibate, not truly heterosexual, but celibate and has no intentions and self-control and all this kind of stuff? It gets riskier, but it's like, I feel like it's technically fine. And then what about if you just have a self-controlled friend and all this kind of stuff? You've got these kind of levels of what's the difference? And I think it's fine. Where's the line? Where do you draw the line there? And one way I think about it sometimes is, it's like relationships are like tanks, and same-sex relationships are like disarmed tanks. So all the two same-sex woman, man, they can press all the buttons of connection, and there's no danger of anything going off because it's disarmed. The tank is disarmed, so they can just get as close as they want to get, and there's no danger. And all the people around them, nobody's suspicious because the arm's disarmed. The tank's disarmed, nice and safe. Whereas opposite sex friends, it's like they're in a live tank, so they've just got to be way more cautious, and people around them are more suspicious. And so it all depends on how live that tank is, and how secure people feel with the people inside it and stuff like that. But that's kind of how I view it. But so sometimes I kind of feel like, well, I don't get why it's okay for a woman to go and spill her guts to a female friend outside of marriage, and nobody thinks that's wrong, and she can tell things to the female friend that she doesn't to her partner, and she can kind of, I don't know, all kinds of things she can do, whereas she can't with a male friend. It's like, well, that male friend could help her in exactly the same way with her relationship and things like that. I guess you have to be honest with yourself as well, and this is the cautious part. There's going to be feelings involved, and everybody has to be just honest and grown up, and honest about their feelings. This is probably why most people just say don't do it, because most people, maybe the grey area is too much, and it's just better to just lop off the danger entirely. But it just seems like a sad state of affairs is that people can't kind of control themselves and then just have good friendships. So that's about it. What did I want to say? There was one other thing I was going to say, which is just because I used to think that the main reason why men and women can't be friends is because of men, because they just can't control themselves, just think about sex all the time. Because whenever you ask a woman, they're like, yeah, friends is fine, and it always seemed like that. But I do think it's possible that women have their own evolutionary reasons for having male friends. So I think that's something else just to kind of watch out for, which is that think women maybe have friends. Their biological reason for having male friends could be for backup boyfriends or backup baby backups and stuff. Because I've heard the situation before where a woman she'll have lots of male friends, and then one day she'll get married or have a baby, and all of a sudden the male friends show their true colours, and they either all leave or they get angry or something like that, and they just wanted sex. They weren't really true friends. That's normally what you hear. But I've actually had it in myself, my own experience, because I'm a bit weird and I'm celibate and that I've had one friend before who I thought we were friends for a long time, and then one day she got married, and I was fine with that. I've never had romantic feelings for her or anything like that. I was fine, and we actually drifted ever since then. And it was weird because I didn't really get it. I knew she might be busy or something, but she didn't really explain. There might be other reasons. I don't know. It was a weird one, but I just remember it making me think that maybe she had her own. I felt like maybe she just used me as a baby backup, and I was like, oh, and maybe my friendship with her wasn't as genuine as I thought, possibly. But yeah. Anyway, I don't really know. I'm just waffling. These are just theories that could be happening. Yeah. So I think men and women can be friends, and I think it's sad that they can't. And I think it just takes self-control. Take the romantic lenses off. All it takes is conviction. Just 100% in your mind. Shut the door. That's it. And all of a sudden, the feelings are just gone, and it's easy. It's very easy after that. That's it. But I understand the caution involved, and it might look very different when you're in the woods of romance. And so, yeah, I understand the caution as well. Okay, I'll leave it there. Okay, thanks. Bye.